One day, on a warm, breezy night, there was a party in the city hosted by Larry, aka Larry Gets It Crackin'. Everybody was raving about this party. It was the place to be. This lovely girl named Jane was always down for a good time. As she walks in with her friend Susie, she instantly sees this fine, beautiful brown skin. He was about 6'3" and had all the honeys, but she couldn't help but notice that he had a Nintendo 3DS in his hand. As she walks toward him, she says, "Hi, I'm Jane, the baddest in the game." He looks at her slowly, crinkling his eyebrows, and says, "Hey, I'm Roger. Do you usually come here on a Friday night?" he asks. "I couldn't help but notice that you had a Nintendo 3DS in your pocket. How my buns look?" "Stale," she said bluntly. As time went by and more people came in, it was Jane's time to shine. She made her way to the center of the room as her favorite song came on, Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. As she got in her zone, she saw no one, heard nothing, but felt every bone in her body liberated to every beat. Roger was caught by surprise. "Wow," gazing at her amazed, "that's the one." As Roger approaches her, he says, "So here's the plan. You're gonna give me your number so I can take you on a date. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. sharp." It was totally unlike Jane to give her number to people, but she couldn't help it as he swept her feet away. As time went by, Jane was filled with excitement, but Susie was on edge. "I get it you're excited and all, but something is just off about him," Susie said while fixing her hair in the mirror. "Wouldn't be surprised if he turned out crazy or something." The next day, Jane was getting ready, putting on her black leather jacket with her black studded boots. 5 minutes later, Roger texts her saying he's outside. Person heads out, but of course her dad stops her at the door. "Where you go, little girl?" her father says aggressively while putting his hand on the door. "It's almost your bedtime." "Dad, for once it's Saturday, and since when did you care if I go to sleep early?" Jane lied, saying that she was going to Susie's house for dinner so he would let her go. As she rushes out the house straight to Roger's car, she tries to buckle her seatbelt, but her hands are too clammy to do so. As they were driving, they pull up to this vacant arcade at a diner called Retrobox. It was like he took her somewhere deserted. There were only a few people in there sitting on old busted red stool bars. Jane automatically thought to when Susie said he was crazy, but she just brushed it off. "So what are you trying to do first, air hockey or skee ball? Better yet, we can play Dance Dance Revolution," he said while smiling from ear to ear. After they went at it with their competitive nature, they took time to eat. While Jane went to the bathroom, she mistakenly left her phone on the table. Roger took her phone and gave her a virus so that he could hack into her system. As she came back, Roger threw her phone down and stretched his arms out so that he could play it off. He was trying to spit game to distract her from the awkwardness, but she didn't notice as she was in awe by his presence. End of the night, when he was dropping her off to Susie's house, he decided to make a move. "Before you leave, I want to give you something," said Roger. "What?" Jane said nervously. Roger went in and gave Jane the nastiest kiss of her entire life. It was like he was trying to eat her mouth. As they pulled apart, there was a string of spit hanging from her mouth connecting to his as if they were in Lady and the Tramp. Jane felt violated and rushed into Susie's house. Jane was doing everything in her power to avoid Roger, but after dance class on Wednesday night, he ended up in her room sitting on her bed. She was scared because no one was home. "Why haven't you answered my calls or texts? Why have you been avoiding me?" Roger said aggressively. "I haven't. I just got a new phone," she said, lying casually. "Next time you lie, there's going to be repercussions," he said while whispering in her ear. As the air of his breath touches her ear, she starts trembling, causing her to scream. As she starts screaming louder, he covers her mouth with his bare hand, telling her to be quiet. Footsteps creep up the stairs, and her dad walks in, swinging his metal baseball bat back and forth. "Get out my house," while clenching his fist tighter. "Now." Roger tries to run out the house, but the police were already there before he could escape. "How'd you know?" Jane said while falling into her father's arms. "I do my research," he said while caressing her.